Guys, it's me, Sarah Siddiqui, and I'm going to read you guys a story called The Boy Who Served His Tribe. Here I go. Long, long ago, there was a family of the Chippewa tribe who lived in a wigwam in the woods of North America. Mother, father, brothers, sisters were all very happy and contented, for they loved the good things of the earth. They loved the sunshine, the forests, and the cool springs of water, but they were often cold and hungry. For at this time, the Chippewa people did not know about growing corn. Instead, they lived only by hunting, like hunting for animals, for meat. Now, when boys of this tribe reached the age of 14, it was the custom for them to go into some lonely place without food so that they could be alone for several days and think about the life which lay ahead of them. The time came for the eldest son of the family to carry out this custom. "Come with me, my son," said his father. The two of them, the father and the son, both walked far into the woods together. There, the father built a little wigwam for his son. "You will be here for 7 days without food," he told the boy. "At the end of this time, I will return to you and bring you food. While you are here, you should pray to the Great Spirit that he will send you a gift for the whole tribe." Left alone, the boy sat for a while and thought. What should he pray for during this week's fast? Perhaps he should pray that his tribe should win glory in battle. Or should he pray that they would enjoy good hunting or be sent great wealth? No, he thought. He would ask only that life for his tribe be made in some way a little less hard. So he began to pray to the Great Spirit. Next page. To continue the story on the next page, a day passed and another. The boy continued to pray, but he ate nothing. By the time the third day came, he was weak from lack of food. All he could do was lie inside his wigwam in a kind of dream. All at once, the curtains of the wigwam parted, and a young warrior, however that word is, warrior, entered. The plumes of his headdress were green, so were his moccasins and his cloak. While he spoke, his voice was like the rush of the wind through the trees. "The Great Spirit heard your prayers." The warrior said to the boy, "I have come to test your courage. Stand up." Trembling, the boy stood up. "Now wrestle with me," said the stranger. So the two of them began to wrestle, and they struggled together for a long time in silence. At last the warrior said, "That is enough for today. I will come back tomorrow." The next evening, the curtains of the wigwam parted again, and the warrior was back. Again, the boy wrestled with him, and although he had felt so weak before the stranger came that he could scarcely stand, as soon as he touched the green-plumed warrior, he became strong. "Good," said the warrior at the end. "You have done well. I will come back tomorrow." So each evening, it was the same. The stranger in the green headdress and moccasins and clothes came, and the boy's strength returned as soon as he touched him. Each evening they wrestled. By the 7th evening, the boy was utterly exhausted from lack of food. I'm hungry. When the stranger came in, he managed to pull himself to his feet. As usual, the two of them began to wrestle. Once again, as they came to grips, the boy felt his strength come back. It's strange, he thought, but tonight I think I could even throw the stranger to the ground. Next page. Next. So well did the boy wrestle that indeed he threw the man to the ground. The boy knelt down by his side. To his utter horror, he saw that the warrior was about to die. The man smiled at him. "You must not be sad," he said, "and you must not grieve for me. You shall see my green plumes again, but if you wish to see them, this is what you must do. Bury me, keep my grave covered with fresh, damp earth. When I have had a good sleep, I will break through the earth and return to the sunshine." So the warrior breathed his last. He died with a heavy heart. The boy carried out all his instructions. No sooner had the boy finished burying the strangers than he looked up and saw his father coming towards him through the woods. "See, my son, I have come to fetch you," said his father, "and I have brought you food. Eat, and your strength will soon return." When the boy had eaten and regained his strength, they went home together to the family and to everyday life. But the boy did not forget his friend with the green plumes, and he never forgot to visit the grave, to weed and water it. The boy told nobody what he was doing, not even the members of his own family. The boy told nobody about what he was doing, not even the members of his own family. He was afraid that if he told people about the warrior and his visits, they would say that he had dreamt it all, because he'd been so weak from lack of food. That they're not going to believe him that he actually experienced it. Then one day the boy was coming home from a week's hunting trip that he decided to visit the warrior's grave. As he came near it, he saw that something was different. The fresh, clean earth of the grave was covered in green plumes. He went nearer. Not plumes. He said to himself softly, "Leaves, wide, pale green leaves." He stood there staring at them. He had never in his life seen leaves like them, and he did not know what to do. Should he cheer them out? No. He shook his head, remembering how the young warrior had died. His eyes fixed on the boy's own. "He told me to trust him, and I will." Weeks passed, and the boy went on watering and weeding the warrior's grave. The green shoots pushed up through the earth and became tall, strong plants. At last, the day came when golden tassels swung from them, thick golden tassels. The boy knew that it was time to fetch his father to see them. Next page. The older man, his father, stood silently at the side of the grave while the boy explained the whole story. At last the father spoke. "My son," he said, "this is a gift from the Great Spirit, a gift to all the Chippewa people." The boy looked puzzled. "A gift?" he said. "What is it, father?" The man reached out and touched the golden tassels gently. He took a few grains from them and tasted them. Then he turned and looked at the boy, and his face was glad as the morning sun in the sky. "It's a new kind of food, my boy," he answered. "The Great Spirit has sent us food that will grow where we plant it in the earth. From now on, we Chippewas will not need to spend all our time and our strength on hunting animals in the forest." The boy's father was right. By his death, the warrior had taught the Chippewas how to grow corn. In time, they harvested it and made breads for themselves, so their lives were a little, less hard, just as the boy had asked of the Great Spirit in his prayers. The end. Some vocabulary words for this story for you guys to know the meaning. So a tribe is like a group of people, there are different groups of different customs, and it's like a society whose people, member people, have custom beliefs and all that, all in common. There's one group where all members believe in one thing, but there are different tribes who have different beliefs. A wigwam is like a little shelter, like a hut in North America, and it's made of different materials, like sticks, and they look like this, like a little hut, like a little roof. So it's made out of poles covered in woven rush mats or sheets of bark, like from tree. So the next word is, okay. What was one of the customs of the Chippewa people? To fast is to avoid food as a religious custom. For example, we Muslims fast during Ramadan for 30 days. So yeah. When you have when there's a lack of something, that means you don't have it. It's like a shortage or absence of something. For example, poor people suffer from lack of food, which means they don't have food. Plumes are like feathers. Moccasins are heelless shoes made of soft leathers. Utterly, utterly, completely, that's what it means. Grieve is like when you're feeling sad. For example, when your loved one passes away, you will grieve and you will feel sad. Also, other words are like mourning. When you grieve, you feel sad about it. Tassels, like those hanging little cords. Like loose threads that are hanging together like string. This question is, in what ways was the tribe content? In other words, what are some of the things that the Chippewa tribe were happy about? They were content and happy about the good things, the blessings they had on the earth, such as the sunshine, the forest, and the cool spring of water. They loved the natural things that they live for. The second question is, what was one of the customs of the Chippewa people? So, what they did is, they went to some lonely place in the forest, not eating for several days, so that they should, think and reflect on what better future could lay ahead of them. The third question is, who do you think the young warrior was? The young warrior could be the Great Spirit because he sent out the blessing, and it was a really happy ending. So yeah. The fourth question is, why did the boy not tell anybody about what he was doing? Well, he was afraid that they will not believe him and that they will think that, oh, it's just a dream. That's the answer. The fifth question is, what was the gift sent by the Great Spirit to the Chippewa tribe? It was like grains of corn, like gold tassel, like that grew from the ground, so they finally got something to eat instead of hunting for animals, so that they have a plant to get food from. So there are some references to this story. So number one, there are some lines. The first line in the question, the first example line is, "I have come to test your courage. Stand up." Well, someone said that to the boy, to the Chippewa boy who was, the son of the father, the one who was doing the custom. So the one who told him was the warrior who told him about testing his courage. The second example line is, "I will break through the earth and return to the sunshine." Who says that, and to whom? Since it was the warrior who told the boy that, because as the boy and the warrior were wrestling, the boy threw the warrior to the ground, and before the warrior breathed his last breath, he told the boy that he will break through the earth via his plans, and he will return to the sunshine.